Gonna be a good time. This is the Great Legend, and I'm coming at you live with the Comic Core. Man, let me tell you, we got a great show for you tonight. We're going to be going over some of the stuff we've been reading. We're going to be talking about new pickups, and we may even be talking about a little Duckbutter. But before we get started, let's go down the line and see who we got here tonight on Comic Core. Y'all know this guy. He comes at us live from comic shops all around the world, and I'm talking about Chad. Chad, what comic store you in, and who do you have with you tonight?
Hey, yo, what's poppin'? I'm Chad, and this is Dalian, and we're live from Nerds, Cards, and Comics.
Yeah, Nerds, Cards, and Comics. There you go.
And
there's enough C's in there.
Enough C's, and there's a lot of duck butter flowing tonight.
Man, amen to that. How about this next guy? Huge fan. Where the big boys play. C. Woodard 19. What's going on, man?
One day I'm gonna get that on target. Hey, yo. There we go. What's going on, guys? Glad to be here.
Good to see C. Woodard. Next up, the best with the press, and I'm talking the man from the Midwest. Paul, what's going on?
Not too much, just chilling out. Friday night with my boys.
Friday night, man. And this guy, the hardest working man in the YouTube comic book community, Comics with Bueller. Man, and look at you. You look great tonight, Bueller.
Yeah, I got all dressed up. You know, I had a nice little wardrobe change for my live feed I just did. I wanted to get dressed up tonight because I knew you were a special host. And you deserve nothing but the best, Legend. So you're getting me all fancy today.
All right. Amen to that, man. You look good in the neighborhood. Let's check the chat real quick. We got Miss Hustle, and I just want to say, Miss Hustle, you know, we love you. You know, you are, as Bueller says, you are the MVP of the comic book community. You know, you do nothing but share everyone's channels. You're in the comments. You're in the live chats, giving support where support is needed in the time of need. Miss Hustle, we love you. And one day, when you're ready, you always got a spot on the Comic Core. And next up, we got Scotty, and he says Scotty was in Comics with Bueller's live show just before this one. He says, I brought pizza from Bueller's show. So it's good to see old Scotty here tonight. We got our Comic Core brother, Trinity Entertainment, and Trinity Entertainment wants to remind each and every one of you, look under your seat because there's a sub for you down there. That's right. You look under your seat, all the seats. They got some subs and they got a lot of love behind them as well. We got, who else we got up in here? Let's see. Jason Smith, man. Who can forget the man, the myth, the mailman? Will it get to your house on time? I don't know, but you better call Jason Smith. And we got, you know, we got Mr. Gretzky in the chat. Gretzky, you let me know, and the link is yours, man. The link is yours, Mr. Gretzky. And Pope freaking Grimy, Pope Grimy, also let me know, and the link is yours, and I'll send the link in a PM, and we'll get you on the show with the Comic Core. Well, guys, man, it's great to see y'all here tonight. I'm doing a little bit of MCing for my man Chad, who's been driving 12 hours from Gatlinburg, Tennessee, to get all the way back where he needs to be gotten to. And I want to know if, Chad, have you been reading any good books this week, man?
I was able to grab, I've read 3, and I'll give you my picks. Web of Venom. Van Nam.
It's like Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
Style.
And
some nice David Hasselhoff version of Nick Fury in there. Some Canadian Love with Wolverine.
Yeah, we got that. And then your pick.
We got Deadpool Assassin wrapping up number 6. Finally got ready to read the whole story front to back. So I was actually pretty happy with the ending. So it wasn't too bad.
And then last but not least, because it is a spec book, they introduced somebody. I am sticking with the Spider-Man.
Okay.
Spider-Gideon.
Spider-Geddon, yeah.
Geddon. So, last time we ended up with, Gwen Stacy came back, so it's pretty good. I'm liking those 2 books.
Man, that's freaking awesome, dude. So freaking awesome. And you got plenty to read behind you, too.
Where to start?
Yeah, a little.
Hey, Dalian, don't take advantage of the man while he's had a little bit too much, man. He may buy that whole store up, man.
If I'm lucky, yeah.
Amen to that, man. What did you get this week, brother? What you been reading?
Yeah, like I said, unfortunately, I haven't been able to check out my local shop since I've been working a lot this week. However, after work, I got a chance to finally read some Ninja Turtles. So a while back at Half Price Books, I got these Ninja Turtle #1. This is the first one from the IDW run. I guess this one's still going in like this. I don't even know if it's broke 100 yet. It might be well on its way, if not already. But nonetheless, the guy there was talking up this Turtles run, so I bought the first 6, and wow, I was actually really impressed by this. It was actually like a complete reboot of Turtles, which I was kind of surprised. I wasn't expecting that. But it made the story of the Turtles feel very fresh. It starts off, it's almost like if you compare it to the show Lost, where it has like a current ongoing storyline, and then you find out what happened to him in flashbacks. And the flashbacks, you find out only 3 of the Turtles were with Splinter when they got mutated into the Turtles we know and love today. So the main mission in the current is they're actually looking for Raphael, trying to reunite the family. So they're all going around, as you can see kind of in this cover, they're going around in the red bandanas in tribute to Raphael because he's not a part of their team. So that kind of keeps their mission fleshed out and focused. So it takes them like the first, I think, 3 or 4 issues to actually find Raph. And he's already with Casey Jones, like fighting bad guys and everything. So, of course, fighting bad guys, they unite in the battle. And then there's probably the coolest issue, I think it was issue 5. There's a Christmas issue where they're kind of gathered around the Christmas tree in the sewer, and Splinter, he's out fighting crime for him, and because he's going and getting a gift, and he just walks by a crime, and the gift is he comes back with their collars, basically. So he gives Mikey, Leonardo, and Donatello their collars, because now that they found Raph, they can each be their own turtle finally and be focused on themselves. And then he gives Raph his size finally after that issue. So it's actually a very fresh, very cool read. And I might actually have to hunt down the hardcovers for this because I was very impressed.
That's awesome, man. And is that the first issue of that one?
This specific one, yeah, this is the first issue of it.
Dude, that's sweet. It's always good to start on those first issues, man. A good jumping on point. You're right. I mean, you don't have to have all the comic books, people. If you find a good read out there, hey, just pick up the trade or the hardcover of the book. That's what I do in a lot of my books. Midwest, man, what have you been reading lately? Oh, buddy, you're on mute.
Have I ever read anything before the weekend? No, I haven't read anything.
Are you looking forward to any good stuff you got coming?
I'm definitely looking forward to reading the Venom books.
Yeah, man. That Venom, that's what it's all about right there. How about you, Bueller? I know from the show you do on Tuesdays, there's a lot that comes out on Wednesdays. Did you pick up any for yourself?
I did. I picked up probably about 10 books this week. There wasn't, I said before, it's the 5th Wednesday of the month. This last week, which was like they released a bunch of annuals, so it's kind of slim pickings this week as far as some books, except for those 2 Venom books that came out. But my pick of the week is the Hunt for Wolverine Dead Ends book, and I read this one. I really enjoyed it. What it does, it wraps up the series of all the Hunt for Wolverine books that are out there. There was like 4 different runs that were going on. It had like Iron Man and Daredevil and stuff like that in them, and all those come to an end, or just came to an end, and then they leads into this book, and this book sums up all those books like within the first couple pages, so you actually don't have to go back and read all those books, which is kind of nice. Yeah. And then the story takes off from there, and it's a good story. I liked it. I'm not going to give anything away, but this is a one shot, and then the new Wolverine book will be out in about 2 weeks. And so that's where this one stops, and that one will jump on from there. So I like this one a lot, and this is a variant. Really like that cover. So that was my pick of the week, and it's good stuff.
That's a good looking variant, and it has the costume from like when he's that old school costume right there.
You know, I like the brown one better. I got to tell you, I've always liked the yellow one's cool, but the brown one, man, that's the one I remember in the '90s and stuff, you know, and that's my favorite.
Paul, what about you, man? What do you think about old Wolverine?
Hey, can I jump in and ask Paul to say it real quick? Bueller, this is I love Wolverine, But this book, please say it, Paul. Please.
Fuck Marvel.
Oh. I mean, honestly, come on. I'm invested in it. I like it that it wraps up in the other story, but like seriously, what the hell am I vested in on that?
Yeah, if you get all the stories in one issue.
I mean, as a comic book shop owner, you're probably loving the fact that they're buying every book.
That's the thing, though. I mean, a lot of people did invest into it, but a lot of people get the trades, whatever, because when there's so many offshoot stuff, and there's all these other tie-ins and everything, people are just to the point they're kind of fed up, to be honest with you. They get the main story, then they get the trades to get all the filler stuff that they think they're missing that they're really not.
Yeah, I get it. But hey, I'm happy that Wolvie's back. I love Wolverine. Sorry, Bueller. I had to say it.
So I got a quick question there, Paul. I hear you say it all the time. I'm curious why you feel that way about Marvel. Is there something in your past that I'm not aware of that makes you feel that way? If so, you should share it with us so we have some content.
I grew up 100% a Marvel fanboy, and I just totally think they've started to get back on track with some of their stuff, but most of it, I think they've just lost their way.
So what was the point that flipped you and started you feeling that way? I'm curious.
Probably when I got back into comics a couple years ago, because I had been away for about 8-10 years. Yeah. And just when I came back, I was like, this is not the Marvel I remember.
Yeah. That's good to know. I didn't know that. I thought maybe you had a bad experience as far as, like, I don't know, something personal or something. I don't know. So,
you won't share that.
No, it's because I know how great Marvel can be, and lately I don't think they have been.
Like, even like as a shop owner, it kind of sucks. So you have all these great movies coming out, and you have a little kid coming in. They're like, "Hey, I want to see the book where Tony Stark invents Ultron." And you're like, "Well,
that didn't happen.
That doesn't happen." Yeah. And you're like, "Hey, I want to get into Iron Man or whatever." And now they have all ththese different characters who aren't who they're seeing on the screen. And you'd think that they use the movies to market their books, and it's just not happening.
So, hey, Bueller, you're obviously a Marvel fan, and honestly, I grew up a Marvel fan. Probably up until the New 52 launch, I was more so a Marvel person. I actually no, I take that back. I think Blackest Night is what turned me into a DC guy.
As a hell of a read.
I mean, that run itself was awesome, but I've talked to like multiple shop owners, and I know you have a close friend that's a shop owner as well. Honestly, in your opinions, what stories hold up longer? Is it more so Marvel or is it more so DC?
I think I would have to say DC has the rich history with Batman and Superman, and the foundation with Wonder Woman and Flash and the Justice League, and you're never going to be able to jump onto that. But I can't go back that far because that was my dad's time frame when those were coming out type thing. Not that they stopped coming out; they've always been coming out. But that was growing up. That was new to him. New to me when I grew up was X-Men, was New Mutants or Alpha Flight, and Spider-Man and Hulk. I really saw them. I saw the TV shows and stuff. And then I stopped collecting in the mid '90s. Okay, and now I've jumped back on. About a little over a year ago is when I started collecting again. So there's like 25-year gap. And I kind of the same way what the gentleman was saying, when I got into collecting, I'm like, hey, Thor. And I go and I look at the Thor book, and it's not the Thor I just saw in the movie. It's some lady. And then the Hulk, some other dude. And I'm like, what is going on? And that's just as far as a marketing point for Marvel, was probably the dumbest thing they could have done, because it's called synergy. Okay, if the kid goes and sees the Hulk, his movie, Bruce Banner, and then goes to buy the comic book, it's not Bruce Banner, or Iron Man is a female and stuff. That makes no sense, and that threw me for a loop. I have recently found the New 52 series books because they're like dirt cheap right now. I've loved those. Those are awesome books, and I've now kind of got back into DC. But Marvel is that thing to me to where it's my childhood. And so every time I pick up a new book or a new, an Ant-Man or something like that, I go back to being 10 years old type thing. So to me, it'll always have that grasp on me. But I'm expanding even more because there's Image, there's Dark Horse, there's Aftershock, there's all these great independent publishers that are putting out these original stories that are just something I never thought of, you know, outside of the superhero range, outside of all the things we've grown up with. And those are kind of where it's at right now for me, to be honest with you.
I think so. You know, we got some folks in the chat. I want to give them some shout outs. We got Liking the Covers 4963 is here. We got a core. All of you guys in the chat are Comic Core. We got a guy that's been on the show in the chat countless times before. Thanatos Comics, man. He's in the chat. We got the Prince from New Zealand, Uncanny Kyle Walker, who, congrats again, Kyle, completed his Judge Dredd run. And that's freaking amazing. Got that full run of Judge Dredd. We have got Rich, Retro Rich, that is, in the chat. It's good to see the retro one. We got Stay Puff 1983, who has one of the best Instagrams. Y'all definitely check out Stay Puff 1983. We got my co-host of Legends Live Auction with us tonight as well. Who Dat Comics and Movies, man. It's great to see Who Dat in the house. And last but certainly not the least, don't ever steal this woman's Reese's Pieces, baby. And I'm talking Dana E.T. Marie. Man, it's good to see Dana E.T. Marie. And one more guy who I am going to be on next Thursday with, Comics and Cold One's very own Pope freaking Grimy is in the chat. So, man, thank y'all so much for being in the chat. I want to get back to that Marvel. I remember, Bueller, you were saying that the characters change, like the girl Thor or the young kid that's playing Ironheart, Iron Man, and all that stuff. So when we, you know, me and you know, I mainly read Fantastic Four, but going into the shops, yeah, if you were reading them as a kid and you see all these new characters, now except that infamous Iron Man, that was pretty damn cool, you know, Victor Doom. But yeah, man, it's kind of weird, man. And Paul, whenever that happened, you know, we were probably, it was Blasted or Stash It time. What did you think about all the gender swapping and stuff like that for Marvel?
This ties into fuck Marvel.
Probably wasn't, and it wasn't a good idea, because what did they have to do? Like, what did Marvel do? Another reboot, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say, kind of based on what everybody said so far, is just my 2 cents on that is, number one, I kind of, in times like this, I miss the Ultimate Marvel Universe and its original cause, because back in 2000, like, the Marvel stuff was all convoluted, and like, I was kind of a new reader to Marvel at that time, and just getting into Marvel, Ultimate Marvel was great because you got to start fresh, basically. You know, kind of like my Ninja Turtle book, I guess I was talking about this week. You had Ultimate Spider-Man. All you had to do was start from issue 1. You didn't need to know anything prior to that, and it had, you know, the basics and the organics that made that character, you know, what it was. Same thing for Ultimate X-Men, even though that got a little bit off track after a while, it was still a decent read. And Ultimate Fantastic Four, which you've talked about on here in the past. But now you go in the shops, and like I said, you got all kinds of different versions of characters, which has its positives and negatives. I mean, I think Bueller was talking about on his live stream previously, you know, how, you know, it has positives, and you know, it appeals to people besides like me, you, and a lot of the other people on this panel. You get, you know, young women, young children, minorities, more people invested in these characters. So it broadens the audience, but sometimes, like you said, you go see the movie and you're just like, I want to collect that character now. Sometimes Marvel tries to put out a book to, you know, shotgun that basically, but then that book kind of fizzles out like 2 months after the movie. So like I said, there's kind of 2 sides of the coin.
And I'll tell you one thing, this buddy of mine in the chat, Trilogy's Comic Corner, Steven, you know, you put that man in the store, he ain't going to go for Riri. He's going to go for Tony Stark, because that's his Iron Man, you know?
That's just it. I mean, I have no problem with the diversity aspect of it and bringing more people into reading comics. Create new characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I agree.
I'd say right on the money. Keep your existing books available, because you're marketing to a mass audience that gives you billions of dollars for every movie that you put out. And you should have a product that represents that item in the store. And have that, and then have the other ones also. That makes more sense than this. Yeah, there is no, you know, Iron Man anymore. There is no male Thor. It's a lady Thor, and it's Jane Foster. And It's like, what? You know, and I literally grabbed that book. I wanted the Thor book, and I was back to collecting, and I was like, who's this? And he's like, and the guy at the shop goes, that's Thor. I go, no, it's not.
Yeah, or at the very least, they could
Thor.
have like kind of that Marvel Adventures line that goes oriented toward kids. And it's just, you know, kind of a nice, simple storyline. You know, anyone, a casual reader can come in, read it, and then get their Thor fix, basically, or something like that.
Hey, Dalian, I want to ask Dalian something. Dalian, being in the shop, did you have that where folks would come in and they would say, I want to get this, and then they'd pick it up and it'd be different character? Who is this?
No, exactly. That happens. I'm not going to say on the daily basis or anything like that, but it happens often enough that it's becoming kind of an issue.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of hard to come out and say fuck Marvel as an owner because they do sell pretty well. But part of the downside too is there's so many stupid covers that have to come out. There's so many things you have to reach. It's like you have to get 50 of this, 100 of this to get it, and we just can't hit some of those numbers a lot of times. But in terms of like the character diversity, there's so many people who say, I want to see Tony Stark, I want to see Steve Rogers, I want to see Bruce Banner, and they're just not there. They try to ask you, hey, why is this person now? And we don't really have a good answer for it. They try to include people who probably have no actual interest in comic books, but they're alienating people who've been following these characters for decades.
And this stems back to when Disney bought the product. Disney bought Marvel specifically because they did not have the target market. They had the lock on the princesses and that girl, I guess adolescent, 4 to maybe early teens, but they didn't have the boy market. So they bought Marvel specifically for that. Now, unfortunately, if you look back at it, when you think Marvel, and we're going back years, Captain America, Hulk, Iron Man, those were B characters. When I think of the Marvel, I'm thinking Spider-Man, I'm thinking X-Men, and they had to play with what they had. They did a great job of what they had. But C. Wood made a great comment, and he said they have to be developing new characters. Either that was you or Bueller said that there's new characters. Both sides have to create some new characters. If you think about over the past 10 years, we have Bucky and we have X-23. But besides Bloodlines, where DC tried to create a bunch of new characters, those characters aren't even around. And Marvel's characters, Amadeus Cho, he's not going to be around. Jane Foster's not going to be around. These aren't new characters. They're just assuming old roles as new, putting a new feel to an old character. So there's no real character.
Identities. They're taking identities of existing characters is all they're doing.
Yeah, and the only real characters that have come out, the newer ones, have been on the DC side. I mean,
Signal is a big one that comes to me.
Signal
Comes in for me because he was a quote-unquote Black Robin, but he wasn't really a Robin. But it's like he came in, it's like, hey, guess what? I'm going to be Nightwing now because we're going to have diversity. No, they said, hey, here's a brand new character. He works at Batman, and he's a diverse character, and that's a lot smarter. And it's like there's a person who came in a couple days ago. They're like, would you have a problem with the Black Batman? No, I'd have a problem with they had a Black Bruce Wayne. But they said they had, like, to say Lucius Fox's son took over as Batman. I wouldn't be so opposed to it, but still have Bruce Wayne as Batman, though. I mean, that's.
I mean, I love the diversity. I absolutely love the diversity in comics
and inclusion, right?
I just think that they need to create new identities. I mean, Red Hood, X-23, the Super Sons, Connor.
Yeah,
these are the characters that I think when I think new, and they've stuck. They've stuck because people do want that new.
And I think too is if you're writing it well though too. I mean, Signal worked because he was introduced by Scott Snyder.
Yeah,
and Scott Snyder is one of the, I think, top 5 writers right
He's
now.
a great writer, but he can't finish a story.
No, because he has no idea what to do with it. So
he's like, oh, it's over.
Yeah, but the point is, like, you have a great writer writing a character, it will eventually stick, and they can be developed by somebody else. Tom King can come through and write something, but the people that they have writing Ironheart, they're not the Scott Snyders, they're not the Grant Morrisons, they're not the Bendises.
Yeah. Hey, so Rob, I'll ask you this. I mean, I'll ask everybody on the panel. Who is your Green Lantern?
Ah, I gotta go with Hal Jordan, man. I love me some Hal Jordan. They all have good qualities, but if I have to pick one, I'm picking Hal Jordan. How about you, Bueller? How about you? How's your Green Lantern? What do you think?
Oh, this is an easy one. It's Ryan Reynolds.
Oh,
easy question, man. Ryan Reynolds all the way.
hey, he's a money maker kind of guy. How about you, Paul?
Mine has got to be Alan Scott.
I should have known. Golden Age historian, Midwest Cop man. He's going to the old school. Woodard, how about you, brother?
Yeah, it kind of goes back to our discussion a little bit. For the better part of a decade, it was Kyle Rayner. I'll be honest. Like, he was the Green Lantern I grew up with. But we talk about, more instead of forcing new characters and diversity, Hal Jordan became my Green Lantern after Jeff Johns came and knocked that out of the park with Green Lantern Rebirth and his Green Lantern run and going into Sinestro Core War. So I still got to say Hal Jordan, too, because of the awesome writing behind that character.
So I'm going to tell you, mine was Kyle Reiner.
Mm-hmm.
And then because of the Justice League.
Did you just say Carl Reiner?
No, I said hold on. Wait 1 second. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Hal Jordan is just about at the Alan Scott level for me.
I'm the DD today.
I said Kyle Reiner.
All right.
And then because of the Justice League cartoon, I'd have to say John Stewart.
So we got a pretty well-rounded for our Green Lanterns, man. Hell yeah.
So no love for Guy Gardner. Okay, that's cool.
Oh wait, well, Mr. Gretzky in the chat. Mr. Gretzky in the chat. He does love him some Guy Gardner. Thanatos Comics, which is one of the biggest Lantern fans out there. He loves him, Hal Jordan. Let me see what Trinity says. Oh, I think Trinity. Yeah, Hal Jordan and John Stewart second. I want to give a big shout out real quick. Fish Tropic, man. It's great to see you tonight, man. And I want to give a shout out to, where is she at? She just got here. Where is she? The chat's Lindsay. What you got there?
This is for Thanatos.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say what Thanatos said. He's like, yeah, notice nobody said Jessica Cruz or Simon Baz.
Hey, you know what who would make a there he is. I was gonna give this guy a shout out. The heart and soul Woodard. Big East Comics is here. He says Kilowog, man.
Yep. He's a good
What's up, Biggs?
Oh man, that's awesome.
If Spider Grandpa was here, he'd pick Jessica Cruz just for meat and potatoes.
Hey, she all right, man. She's all right.
If Batman Rich was here, he'd say Sinestro all day.
Yeah.
Yellow. Hey,
greatest ring slinger there is.
Now I'm a Larfleeze fan, but I don't know if he's ever gonna put the green on, Well, you know what? I want to go back to a book I read for Marvel. I read, and Brandon Stawinski's been bothering me for about 3 days to read this, and I finally read Marvel 2-in-1, issue 9. Damn good book. Ben and Johnny are still stuck on this spider world where Spider-Man is like this evil dude that has like a battle planet, classic Richard Dawson Running Man or, whatever you want to call it. But really good story, and they battle the Mad Thinker, and he dyes his hair white. He uses that girl that was with him to create a super-powered Fantastic Four, and he's, of course, got the elasticity, or, like Mr. Fantastic or whatever. Just a damn good read, and there's a cliffhanger at the end. I won't tell you what happened, but it's one of the Fantastic Four members. Whether it be a Fantastic Four member, the one they're looking for, or is it the one from the current multiverse they're on? I don't know, but that's my pick of the week. It was a damn good read. Another book I did read back issue style was Plastic Man #3 by Gail Simone. It's a good read. I wouldn't say it's book of the weeks or anything, but it was a good read. And another question I had for y'all, we were back. I'm kind of getting in these segues here, but Marvel, they did all the things where they had these new characters. I want to get a shout out to my main man, Alex, the comic hoarder. He says, Aricia is the greatest Green Lantern of all time, and she's the greatest looking. Hey, she's a good looking gal, but I want to let y'all ask y'all something.
Legend, you got to look at that cover right there for you, brother.
Alex Ross, I know it's beautiful, man. I read that book today. Show that book again real quick. Show that, yeah. Look at that, Alex Ross, Plastic Man. I got to get that bad boy. That is a beautiful. But I was going to ask, what do y'all think about the legacy stuff? They're doing legacy numbering, and it seems like a lot of the characters are getting back into their old uniforms again for Marvel. Paul, do you think that they finally are getting things going on it? Paul's like, yeah, they're getting it going.
Yeah, they're getting it together, and I mean, the legacy numbering is great for old collectors who want to feel that sense of consistency. Everything has been great except for that new fucking costume for Wolverine.
Oh yeah, that one there. What else do you guys think? Let's get some other stuff. What do you think, Bueller, on the Marvel? I bet you're digging it. Yeah, I'm digging it. It's a good book. I like it a lot. And I heard it.
Jesus. Sorry, guys.
I'm a ventriloquist.
I'm not the only one who's done the mute thing here.
So I've actually been looking at this book right here, the Avengers one. It's got the legacy number on it, and it's kind of cool, but I don't even know where to put them back into the order, type thing. It's because there were so many sideways streets that they took and stuff or whatnot. So I don't, it's kind of confusing for me. I'm old now, so I'm struggling. But I like ones that have like number 1, like this one. That's easy for me to figure out. It's 1. So I don't really. The legacy thing doesn't really do anything for me. I didn't even realize it was there until you guys pointed it out last week. To be honest with you.
Hey Bueller, when you work at the shop occasionally, right?
Yeah, every now and then.
So when somebody comes in and they're wanting, say, the MCU, the cinematic universe. Okay. What do you point them towards?
Like obviously I don't mind reboots as much as a lot of people don't like reboots. I don't mind them. So like the Avengers reboot, if somebody comes in, I put them right there. It's the Avengers. It's the characters they know and stuff. So I mean, I have no problem. I love that Marvel just rebooted. It's nice for me. Like I said, I'm new getting back into it and stuff. So it's a nice jumping on point. And so any of the new books that are out right now, I'm pushing them towards that. And I only work at that shop like once a month, to be honest with you. Yeah. So I really don't have tremendous experience. But it's nice that, like I said, here's Avengers, the Mighty Heroes. They're on issue, 6? So you can pick up number 1, 2, and 3 and all that good stuff.
Is that Ed McGuinness?
Where's that? What's that?
Is that Ed McGuinness?
Yes, it is. Okay.
So I love McGuinness's work. I actually am picking that book up and I'm actually enjoying it. But my big thing is, the one thing that Marvel did right, in my opinion, and I enjoyed it, and everybody could disagree with this, is that the Ultimate Universe was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I hated the fact that they killed off that universe, but I mean the stories themselves, like Ultimates 1, 2, and 3. I mean, yeah, you had a little bit of incestual relationships.
Yeah, somebody was VC Andrews writing that stuff,
but it got a little weird with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. But I mean, for the most part, that's the MCU.
Mm-hmm. I dug the Ultimate, like Woodard said earlier, Fantastic Four Ultimate series. I got doubles of that. The lead into, was it issue? I think it was issue 21, where it kind of leads into the Marvel Zombies and all that stuff. I mean, I love that stuff. It was really good. But yeah, let me get a big shout out. I just saw Knights of the Old is here, and Easy-E, the Game Hunter. The one thing that did was mess up She-Hulk in the Avengers book. Bueller, you read it. What do you think about She-Hulk? Do you think she's messed up in there? Do you like She-Hulk in that book?
I haven't read it.
Hey, but the McGuinness cover.
But just looking at
looks good
on the cover,
mm-hmm.
She's like I've never seen her in that form. She's big like the Hulk type thing.
She's wearing the Dean Ambrose shirt. Amen.
Yeah, my She-Hulk was 7 feet tall and kind of muscly, but proportioned and stuff. So this one is it just looks like the Hulk with long hair. To be honest with you.
Yeah, she's pretty. She's pretty. That Paul says
bigger chest.
Yeah, bigger chest. The meat and potatoes of Spider Grandpa would say, right, Paul?
That's it.
Well, you know what? Let's see. Let's look at some of the stuff that y'all have bought this week, like in hauls or something special that you want to show. And Chad, it can't be that bottle of yours. Did you pick up anything special?
No, I was on vacation all week. The only thing I picked up was being tired and chased by bears and bobcats. So I grabbed my books a little bit ago. I was able to sit down and read a couple. It was the fifth week, just like Bueller said. What's that, Paul?
You got violated by a mountain lion.
You promised me you wouldn't tell anybody.
Oh man, it was shaking your leg, wasn't it? With that red lipstick of doom.
What's happening?
I don't know, man. Oh, I think
it must have smelled the duck butter on me.
Drank too much butter right there.
Pickups.
What did you get, Woodard?
I got an eBay lot. Since I didn't get a chance to make it in my store, at least I got some mail. Got some old X-Men's for a couple bucks per book. So this one's beat up and destroyed, but it's X-Men 25. So what's not to love about old Silver Age X-Men? I got one of the reprints in that lot too, X-Men 84. And the two main reasons I got this lot came with X-Men 96, which was actually a pretty clean copy. After it got rebagged to this nice Mylar. There you go. E. Gerber, Mylites 2, halfback. There you go. And then I think this is the first Moira McTaggart, if I remember right. And then it also came with X-Men 99. Like I said, I think I got these for like $3 a piece.
I think you might have got a Justice League too.
Oh, yeah. Did I sort that in already? I had a whole 90-minute live video with all of my pickups from vacation. But, yeah, I do want to shout out Chad. He gave me I bought at an auction promo from Legends Live Auction, which can be first and third Saturday, 10 p.m. every month, including tomorrow. And I wanted a lot from Chad, and he hooked it up big time too. So one of the nicest things he gave me, besides the awesome Origin of the Justice League book, that was part of the lot. He gave me a bunch of DCB covers. I didn't even think were part of the lot, or they probably weren't. He just threw them in because he's that nice of a guy. One of them was the 1 in 100 Justice League #2. So big thanks to Chad for that. I appreciate all that as usual. And hey, more X-Men. So that's what I picked up this week.
Man, that's awesome. I want to go to this guy here. He's just joined us. He is, it's like Fort Knox of slabs, man. TJ Watson, what's going on?
Not much, you?
Man, not much, you, man. Good to see you tonight, man. What do you got here? What's this Red Sonja doing here?
I just want to show off one of the rarest Adam Hughes variants there is. Less than 200 copies exist.
Wow. That is beautiful.
Yeah,
now,
Red
Paul,
Sonja
what about
#2.
that one?
Oh, I love me some Hughes.
I would love it with that girl. From 2005. That's awesome. About 200 copies.
Yes, exists.
Good God. That is freaking awesome. Well, I'm sorry to skip my main man, Midwest. He is one of the best. And let me give a special shout out to Miss Midwest, the ball and chain, man. Big shout out to her. She is the foundation that Paul is walking on, baby. Without her, I don't know where Paul would be.
I don't know either.
He was speechless for a while. God bless that woman. She's a good one, man. She's a good one. Paul, how about she is the best. Paul, did you get anything you want to show recently? I know you said you don't read them for a while, but or anything you've been pressing or anything?
I just got a bunch of books in the other day yesterday to press, and I'll be working on that all weekend. As an Iron Man #1, among other things. But I just recently started rereading a series that I think everybody should read. It's a great series, DMZ. Can't really see it very well, but because I'm in the dark today. But great series, and I haven't read it in a long time, and it's very topical these days.
Oh man, that's awesome. Bueller, any good pickups, any hidden gems that stick out from some of your latest hauls?
Well, I picked up some stuff today, and nothing of any value, I don't think. But this Batman run right here. It's Batman Cacophony. I don't know how to say that. So, somebody tell me what that is.
Cacophony or
I
cacophony?
think it's
Yeah.
Cacophony.
Cacophony.
Batman Cacophony. Is that the one? It was like Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
Is that the one he did with his friend from the his comic shop?
Yeah.
Or was that the other one? Yeah, Walt Flanagan.
Yep, Walt Flanagan. Yep. So it's all 3 issues of that set. So I picked these up, and then I just some of my regular pulls, the Venom book, the Extermination #2, which I really enjoyed #1. So I'm looking forward to reading this one, and I love me some DC stuff.
Oh,
So
that's a good cover.
I got me some DC Justice League Dark #2, just so you guys know I like DC. And I got another copy of the Cosmic Ghost Rider. It was still sitting on the shelf, so I bought it, and I'll probably have it. Donny Cates sign it and stuff, so I'll probably give it away. So, and then I found this one. I was happy to get the Rocket Raccoon.
Oh, cool.
#1 of 4 limited series. This thing looks like it's been through the garbage disposal, but I don't care. And then more DC love from Bueller. I got Static Shock #1.
Static Shock.
Yeah.
He looks like a G with that hat on it. Ball
Yeah,
cap.
it does, man. #1. This
Awesome
one's going up on eBay. And then, well, I got this, and this is one of those little carriers for your books.
Yeah,
And I didn't have one of these, and I wanted one because I'm doing that con next week, and I wanted to carry the books that I'm getting signed possibly, so they don't get damaged or whatnot. So, I said this on my live stream earlier. I'm not a big guy about signatures. I really don't. It doesn't do anything for me. So all the stuff that I'm going to get signed is stuff that I'm going to be giving away on my channel. So, like Adam Hughes and there's a bunch of people.
Donny Cates, right?
Donny Cates, Adam Hughes. And there's tons of people going to be there. So I'm going to get them all signed because I'm interviewing a lot of them, and I'm going to have them do a bunch of stuff for the channel. So it'll be a lot of fun.
For Donny Cates, did you talk to Trinity? Does Trinity have any questions he's sending your way to ask Donny?
I think he did. I know we were chatting a little bit in the Common Core chat last week or something. So, but I've had a lot of people ask me to ask a lot of questions about Donny Cates. So.
I know Trinity's a huge fan of Donny Cates, man. So he'll be happy to see that, and then man, he'll be digging some SIGs. Hey TJ, man, what? Whoa, hello. There's another girl I wouldn't mind dating.
I'm a big old Vampirella fan, the original Warren series. I got 78% complete.
Whoa.
2 or higher.
God,
that's awesome, man.
Do you get like the certificates that come in? Like if you have so many on the CGC?
Yes,
those
I just got it this week. Yeah, I got a bunch of them.
That is so cool.
Let me go grab them. I'm not even sure what I got. One more.
Yeah.
Let's go on to someone else. Yep.
That's awesome. And what he's going to show is these certificates that CGC will send you. So if you go to the CGC census, you can see how many books are in 9.8 or how many books are like a 9.4. How are they verified? Are they signature series or they restored? That is all on there on the CGC census. So if you had, say, All-Star Western 1 through 11, from the 70s, the volume 2 run of say like 9.6s or higher, but you had all of those, you owned all of those books, you would most likely get a certificate from CGC that had your name on it that said you have the highest graded complete set of those books. So that's freaking pretty cool, to have all those. And I know there's some big time CGC collectors in our comic book community that have those. It's really cool. Let me check the chat real quick. I want to give a big shout out to my brother Robert, aka Double S Comics Reader. He says Bueller is all dressed to impress. He is, man. He's handsome, ain't he, man? He got them glasses on, looking like he's going to do an interview after the NBA game post-show report. TJ, let's see that certificate, man, and tell us a little bit about some of these and like what titles got you these certificates.
Let's see what I got here. There's all. I have the Skyworld magazine #1 set for the Scream.
Ooh, that's awesome.
I got
Scream.
Oh, this one I'm very happy about. The Savage Sword of Conan magazine set, 1 through 235. I had the number 1 set on that.
Wow. 1 through 235. That's a run right there.
The Skyworld Nightmare magazine. I got the number 1 set on that.
Beautiful.
I got the Gold Key Sinbad number 1 set in that collection.
I bet that had a lot of beautiful painted covers.
2. There's only 2 issues.
Oh, just 2.
This one, there's only 1 issue, and I have it. So. Unknown World of Science Fiction magazine. I have the number 1 set in that.
At least it wasn't that bad TV show where she put her fingers together to stop time. Remember that? Bueller's Smile. You remember that Out of This World show? What else you got?
I have the number 1 set in Pulse, the comic book Pulse that no one collects. But it has some nice Alex Ross stuff.
That's awesome.
I have the number 1 set in Epic Illustrated magazine.
Sweet.
Golden Age set The Flame. I have the number 1 set in that.
Hey, you gotta look at Seawood. Please pay attention to Seawood.
Oh, good.
I have the number 1 heavy metal set.
Heavy metal set. Now that is awesome. Whoa, hello there. Who's this? Craig Sager? What's going on over there, Woodard?
I have the number 1
Bobby the Brain Heenan.
You got,
I don't have sweatpants.
That's Groovy's Nick Cardy DC covers.
Yes.
Oh, that is awesome.
Set of Nick Cardy covers. And I have also the Savage Sword of Conan 1 through 100 number 1 set.
Wow, awesome. Aim High Comics would love that one.
And the number 1 set for Marvel magazines.
Dang. Well, how many? I know you told me this before, but for folks in the chat that are fans of CGC slabs and things of that nature, how many slabs again do you have?
1860.
Whoa! Oh man! Oh gosh, that is just freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So, TJ, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So, first off, I've never really got to talk to you in person, so this is awesome. But what was the first book you ever got slabbed?
The first book I ever bought slab was Avengers Forever Avengers Finale number 1 with Neil Adams cover.
And when did you have that done?
About 15 years ago.
And was that it? Was that once you got that one, you were sold?
Not immediately. I was still pretty old school because this is my second time around. I still say 9.8 is worth so much more than but near mint's near mint, and I didn't understand the new rules. And one day I had an epiphany, and I said, I get it. There's a difference in near mint between a 9.4, 9.6, 9.8, and I was hooked.
So have you ever gotten a book back that got a grade and it was just way off? Because I recently just came across a Spider-Man 129 that got a 5, and it did not deserve a 5. It was definitely a 7 or higher. How many times has that happened to you?
It happened once, but I checked the grader's notes, and there was a rip in one of the interior pages that I never noticed.
Yeah.
And also, I sent one in where I didn't take it out of the bag before I sent it in, and there was a big stain on the back.
Roll sound.
So, hey, I've got 2 magic people standing behind us calling us dirt nerds.
Hey, Chad, you didn't have to say there were 2 magic people. I could tell.
There are levels of nerds.
Man, I thought that guy right there was. I thought you had Bo Dallas in the store.
He'll take it.
He's a dead rear.
So when I had this channel before called Reviews from the Batcave, this is the mailman who actually did the escape room with us, and he's sitting here going, "Why are you showing bricks of comic books? When I get bricks of magic cards, I just break them open and leave the tag in there so I can intimidate my opponent."
Oh yeah,
and I'm like,
to do it.
And you just called us a nerd.
Yeah.
Well, that happened.
Well, I'm definitely a nerd, so thank you very much.
I want to go to C. Woodard real quick. C. Woodard, I want to ask you real fast. I'm gonna do a Stay Puft 1983. First off, gave TJ a big nickname, and we're gonna have to remember this one. TJ, the Slab King Watson.
Awesome.
Now, Woodard, is that a good nickname? Could you
Oh, yeah.
take him to the ring as Bobby Heenan with your?
I'll take him straight to the top.
That's right, man. Well, hell, with 1,860, I said,
Of the brain.
when he said that, man, when TJ said, it's like, man, I think my heart skipped at 1,860 beats. Oh man. Well, golly, we're almost an hour into this. I want to get into a discussion tonight. I was thinking about, doing a discussion, and the title of the video, Holy Grails filled with duck butter. And it was just a funny title, trying
Is
to.
that what it's titled?
Yeah. Comic Corpse, Holy Grails filled with duck butter.
Hashtag ratings right there once again.
I was going to ask everyone on the panel, a good friend of mine, good old Tim, Mr. Gretzky, he knows this guy. Back in 2012, Howler Mouse coined the phrase in our comic book community. Of course, the comic book community back then, very small community in 2012. But Howler Mouse coined this phrase that a lot of us use today. A lot of us, don't remember this old simple guy from Virginia, or is it West Virginia? I can't remember where old Howler Mouse is from. But, man, he coined the phrase in the comic book community. It could have been created earlier. Comic book Holy Grails. And I was going to ask y'all what your Holy Grail was, and if you have your Holy Grail yet. And I want to go with my good buddy Chad, man. Chad, do you have your Holy Grail yet? And what is your Holy Grail?
So this is going to sound stupid, but my Holy Grail is the first appearance of Connor Kent.
Hey, that's what it's all about, man. And now, do you have your Holy Grail?
I did, but I lost it in the flood of 2018. So
it was one of those, man. Are you gonna try to get it back?
I am. I've got a good friend in Indiana that's trying to look for it.
That's awesome, man. And did I hear in the funny papers that not the Nets funny papers, but did I hear that he's coming back?
I heard he's coming back. I think I even put it in our chat one time, but I know he is going to be making an appearance. We're going to go a little Trinity Entertainment style. He should be making an appearance in Titans, as well as we are going to see Nightwing or Dick
Grayson.
Dick Grayson change into, my God.
Because I'm not seeing no Dick now. I'll see some Dick Grayson. But
we're gonna have Dick change into from Robin into Nightwing, so that'll be interesting. Hopefully, we might even see Tim Drake, and man, that combo would be great. So, yeah, that's my Holy Grail.
That's gonna be, that Titan show. It'll be really good, and I hope you can get that book before that character appears on the TV show.
Now, wait, can I give a shout out real quick?
Yeah, man.
So I have a certain friend who was a cave dweller of mine, who really his daughter is named Talia.
Yep, I know that kid.
So he needs the first appearance of Talia, and he also needs the first appearance of Raja Ghul.
Okay.
To complete his run. And if anybody might have the new, what is it, the X-Men Extremist?
Yeah.
Is that what that one that just came out 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
If anybody has that, spoiler alert, Cable dies in it. And
wait, I didn't read it yet.
Okay, well, Cable dies, but Nathan comes back.
Oh my God.
If you have that, an AOK to Rich the Third might work out for you.
Yeah, man. Rich the Third, Al Ghul, and Talia Al Ghul. If someone has those, let that man know. Woodard, how about you? I don't know if I've ever asked you this, or what is your Grail?
Yeah, I guess if I had to pick a Grail, it would probably have to be Showcase 22, first Hal Jordan. I do not have it, obviously. I would have showed it off 2,000 times by now. But, yeah, at this point, I'm probably not going to cough up that much on a book. Rather, I can get, a trade or, a good commission for some good money, obviously. But yeah, if I had to pick one, Grail would probably be Showcase 22.
And what my favorites are, there's omnibuses and there's things like that. But I really love the DC Archives, those hardcovers. They're
those are nice.
They can get pretty pricey, but man, the way they do the book, you get that volume 1. It has Showcase 22, 23, 24. Whoa. Let's see. What was that? Let's see it.
Oh, no, I don't have it. I just need him to pay attention for a second.
All right. Woodard, are you watching?
Yeah, I'm on the show, so yeah, I'm watching.
Oh. All right.
I didn't go change clothes again.
What are you going to show him? What are you going to show him, Chad? Oh, that guy walking behind y'all. Whoa. Hey, watch your backside. He's coming up. Whoa. What the hell? NWO for life right there.
Woodard. The screen for that. Nice.
All right, Woodard, because of you, that innocent Magic player just got his ass whooped. Oh, man, Midwest, brother. Paul, you have a ton of great books. What is that Holy Grail?
Right now, the realistic Grail is Avengers #4. The unrealistic goal is Captain America Comics #1.
Woo-wee, man. Would you take a restored copy of Captain America Comics #1?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. I like the sound of that. Well, you know what, man? I mean, like ETA Nick says on the old Wednesday night chat with the dudes, never say never, man, because you really never know. I mean, you can come into a lot of cash. You could press like 10,000 books or something, and you probably could get that book. A lot of savings and a lot of college for kiddos, but that book can be yours.
The Golden Age stuff, I would never turn down restored stuff because the stuff's going to start falling apart if we don't restore them.
I know that, and I'm 100% with you. I buy Golden Age books. I buy restored all day, every day if I can get them. So that's freaking awesome. TJ, man, holy shoo, Louis, man, I almost said something, but what is that book there?
It was my biggest Grail when I started collecting again. I got it about 8 years ago. Thank God.
Thank God.
Yeah. A copy just sold for $9,900 this week.
Oh my God. Well, congrats, man. So you got that, years ago, great prices.
3,000. Yeah, just under 3,000.
Beautiful, man. And then so that your hard work of just displaying the beautiful book there paid off.
Yeah. And I'm kind of a believer that there's not just one Grail. There's all kinds of Grails I have, and I have this. I have can you see that at all? It's
kind of bright white, but if you can, that's a little better. Can you click on one and make it bigger? Okay, sure. I know that's book.
One big one, yes.
Daredevil #1, beautiful Grail.
That's a Grail for me.
Daredevil and Submariner. Oh,
that's a great Neil Adams cover. That's very rare.
Do you have these books?
No. These are Grails I want.
The Grails he wants.
Yes. I have another list of Grails I have.
Mm-hmm.
But
Vision, yeah.
These are all things that's on my list to get before I'm dead.
That is so awesome. Well, not the dead part, but the books. You got great books there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the Professor Zoom. Oh, the classic 1, 2, 3.
That's nice.
Yep. Oh, there you go, Paul. There it is.
Now, Captain America #1 would be on there, but
Morbius.
Like I said, that's an unrealistic Grail.
Yes.
The Secrets there. House of Secrets has gone up over the years. When I started getting into the community in about 2011, House of Secrets was all the rage. All the Swamp Thing stuff was all the rage. Now it's just getting expensive.
Well, House of Secrets in high grade is still more expensive than Hulk 181, but that's going to change soon.
Yeah.
I'm a big Tarzan collector, and this is one of my big Grails for Tarzan.
Awesome.
1939.
Going at that with the lion. So yeah,
I saw some Fiction House there.
Yeah,
I saw some Fiction House with Ghost Comics.
Yes.
List. Yeah. Is that a Ghost Fiction House Comics Midwest and TJ? Is that a Golden Age?
Golden Age Fiction House. Yes.
Yep.
The rarest series they have. Very hard to find in any grade.
It was only like 9 issues, wasn't it?
Yes.
9 issues.
Yeah. And of course, Frazetta, Ghost Rider.
Oh yeah, that is awesome.
And Timely, of course. I always love Daring Comics.
Timely.
That's
Alan-
still affordable.
Alex Schomburg is still my favorite artist ever.
This is one of my favorite comics from my childhood.
The Spectre, old Corrigan.
Yeah.
Now in his own magazine. I like that cover too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But,
Well, dude, those are freaking awesome.
And another Grail I got last year, because I do love pre-code horror.
Wow.
Oh, look at that. That is awesome.
Doesn't that look good?
I got 4 ECs now.
Dude, that is so freaking cool. Like I there was a EC, the first Weird Science book, and it was a 5.5, and I can't remember what they were going for on eBay. Maybe some like 1,100. I don't remember, but I went ahead and read that book online, and it was so cool, man. It was just like, you know, watching an an episode of Tales from the Crypt or an Alfred Hitchcock Presents or a Twilight Zone, or, you know, all those little stories always had some little Rod Serling moment at the very end where it's like, what? You know, you did a double take. It's like, what the hell? You know, it's really cool. How about you, Bueller, man? What is a holy grail that you are some holy grails? Like TJ said, you know, there's could be all, me personally I have 3. But
Yeah.
how about you?
You know, I'm glad you came to me and asking this question, because I've been thinking about this the whole time, and exactly what is a holy grail to me does not necessarily mean a valuable book. My personal holy grail that will never leave is the first comic book that my mom bought me at the very first comic book shop I ever went to, and that was Contest of Champions. That's my personal holy grail book that means the world to me. It's only a $20 book, but it has the story behind it, and that's what my personal one is. As far as a monetary, is that right? A value?
The money book.
Yeah. My personal grail on that end would be my Amazing Spider-Man number 129, which is awesome. You know, the first appearance of the Punisher. That's my holy grail. It's a book I always wanted and just picked up this year from Jeff. Your buddy Jeff bought it for me as a present, which was very cool.
Wow, that is cool.
Yeah. And then my all-time holy grail that I've always wanted, which TJ just showed off, is the Hulk 181. I've never had a copy of that book. I've always wanted a copy. My other 2 grails I've wanted, I've had in my collection before, and they're not, so that's a different story. But that one, the 181 Incredible Hulk, that's really the only grail that I've ever really wanted that I've never had in my possession. And one day I'd like someone to just give me a gift of that too. That'd be kind of nice.
Hey, you never know, man. You never know. Mine, let me tell you, on mine, I have, and like Bueller said, like that book, you know, that his mom was, you said your mom got it for you, right?
Yeah, she took me, I was like 8 years old, and she took me, I didn't know we were going. She knew I liked comics because I was buying them at the grocery store. And she's like, I want to take you somewhere. And she drove by it, you know, a while back, and she took me in there. I'd never been in there, and I just walked in there, and my eyes just popped. And, you know, it was like a whole new world opened up. And she said, pick out any book you want. And I picked out the Contest of Champions number 1 because it had the most characters on the front of the cover. And then I actually used that as my banner for the head of my channel, the cover of that. And that's my all-time personal holy grail.
Yeah, that's awesome that you have that. I have the same thing. It's one of my grails. I won't say holy grail, but it's Amazing Spider-Man 319, and it was a book that my grandmother bought me at the grocery store. It was Rhino, Matt Gargan's Scorpion, and is it Backlash maybe, or the guy with the whips?
Yeah.
And there was like the cover had in the bottom right hand corner, it had like tonight's main event, Spider-Man versus all 3 of these guys.
Yep.
You know,
that's a great cover.
And that's your boy McFarlane. You know, Miss McFarlane, she taught you well, because I've seen some of your art and stuff that you've done. And, you posted that on your Instagram channel.
I just found them. My mom found them They're from like 1990, and I was like, back when I thought I was like art boy or whatnot, you know. And the thing with whenever I drew, and those I never finished my drawings. I don't know what it was, but I could never imagine the drawing in my head. I always had to look at a picture and then draw it. And that's the only way I could draw. I could pretty much draw it identically to what I'm looking at, and I'd make the proportions a little bit bigger so people didn't know I didn't trace it.
Yeah.
But I can't do it just out of my head because I can't imagine stuff. So,
man, I tell you what, you know, I think each of us on here. I'm not sure if Chad has one yet. Chad, do you have an Instagram account yet?
I do, and I'm hooked. I'm subbed up to all of you guys already.
Have you put any pictures on yours yet?
No.
Not yet. That's all right. That's all right. Woodard, do you have Instagram?
Yeah, I just started one maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's just cwoodard19. Same thing as my channel. So if you guys want to look at that, I haven't posted too much yet. I'm still trying to figure out how to use it basically, but yeah, I got a few things on there if you guys would like to check that out.
Yeah, Midwest, are you on Instagram yet? You do any of that?
I have a personal account on there, but I'm going to be creating an account for
business. Yeah, it's cool. I got a shout out to Edwin Strictly Comics, who is also in he's got a pressing service too. And what he does on Instagram is he promotes heavily on Instagram his pressing service, and they have a feature where you can put multiple pictures on a post and slide your finger over and look at, you know, like before and afters, you know. And Paul, I know you'll be doing the before and afters. And
I have that on my website.
Yeah. Oh, that. Yep. I love that, to look at the work that a presser does. I'm more of a fan of like the cleaning, and I like when Paul talks about restoring books, especially old golden age books, because it's just like Paul said, the books, you know, they're going to be falling apart as they age, and you know that's the thing. You're going to have to start restoring the books eventually. You know, the Declaration of Independence, you know, they clean that bad boy. They bust it out of the glass every now and then and clean it. So it's, you know, it should be done. I was going to ask TJ. TJ, you have 1,860 slabs. Do you have any purple labels in there?
One. I sent out a small book of the third appearance of the Atom. Came back 7.5 restored.
Yeah. What was the restoration on it?
It didn't say, and this was like over 10 years ago. I had no way of finding out, but
sure,
I can't find where the color touch is, but it's what I think it is. It's there somewhere. I haven't taken a black light to it.
Yeah, and yeah, that's a lot of them. Look at that.
Rob,
yeah.
So the one thing I gotta say is, I have seen some of Paul's work, and I am going to tell everybody out there, this dude is sick what he can do. I mean, Alex gave him some Holy Grails. I've seen some of his final work, and if you're not using this dude, if you don't know him, sub his ass up, sub him up on Instagram, on Twitter, whatever. Get a hold of this guy. He will definitely make you some money on some of these books, because he is one of the only guys I've ever seen that actually has insurance to insure his work as well. I mean, god damn, bro.
I know, right? I mean, hell yeah. Because a lot of pressers out there, most of them, I guarantee, most of them don't have that insurance. But you know, when you know, like Paul, when you got that insurance, that's where the big boys play. And I'm going to be sending some books. I know I've been saying that for a freaking damn year. Money's kind of tight where, you know, it's all over the place, you know, in some different areas where I can't easily get my funds. But eventually I'm going to be sending some stuff to Paul. And I know I talked to a guy who likes to fly, aim high. You know, him and a buddy, they got a little something going down, maybe sending some books out to the old Midwest. And that's what I'm talking about. Let me talk to this, give another shout out real quick. And I'm so sorry, my main man from the NYC, Joker M21 was here. I'm sorry I didn't get you a shout out earlier. And I wanted to say Thanatos. I know Thanatos Holy Grail is the Showcase 22, but he says, everyone watch the boy who had 7's Holy Grail video today. X-Men #1 CBCS 4 So that is a good book. Knights of the Old said, I like to have a Marvel Comics #1 someday. Hell, I like that too. Mr. Gretzky's My Holy Grail is a couple of Flash, the volume 1s, 113, first appearance of the Trickster. That'd be cool to have. And Detective Comics 259, first appearance of Calendar Man. And easy grail to get is Archie 140. So folks in the chat talking about their Holy Grails. Nice the Old, good question. What's your 3 Grails legend? And I should have had these out, but that's okay. You know, you'll see them on my, I don't think I have one of them on Instagram, but you can see a couple of my things on Instagram. My Holy Grails are 3 books. There was the book that just kind of thank you, Masked Marvel, my old G2 buddy out there, for letting me know there was a Wiz Comics #275 on eBay way back in the day, and I was able to snag that bad boy at a nice 4-figure price. Damn, that was a good rhyme. I didn't even think about that. But anyway, so that book there, the last one sold on eBay, exact grade, purple label, 7.5, Wiz Comics #2, sold on eBay for $21,000. I bought mine for $7,500. Made a deal with the guy, Chris Schwartz, out of San Diego, a Overstreet price guide advisor. And I said, I did one of those offers. I did $7,500. He said, "Will you give it good home?" It says, "Dude, this book is like unbelievable. Well, yeah, I'm going to give it a good home. What the hell?" He was getting more into original art, so I was able to snag that one. Another one around the same price I was able to get was a Fantastic Four 5.5 blue label, and of course I used Desert Wind Comics because I wasn't going to see the man in line or anything, but I got a Stan Lee sig on my Fantastic Four #1 from 1961. And last but not least, the steal of a deal, Sellersville had a live auction on eBay, and I was able to get Three Stooges #1 from 1949 Jubilee Publishing. Three Stooges, man. Three Stooges #1. Moe, Larry, Curly, the first Three Stooges comic book of all time. Infinity cover with the good old Norman Moore, old Moe's son-in-law, and old Joe Kubert, his buddy, on the artwork, man. I tell you. So I was able to get that book for $100. Three Stooges 1. One of the most rare books. I think there's 11, and it was a CBCS one, but I know there's 11 graded of the CGC style. So
are you still looking for that last one?
Well, #2, Paul, that's one of the ones I'm going to be, let me show y'all this something real quick. They're just right here. Let me see if I got it. Let's see. I'm going to show you something very cool. Now, it better be cool, man.
Better be cool, man.
They're not the best quality or anything, but you know what? I've got them. They're beat up. I don't know. They'll probably get a 1. But I'm going to send them to Paul. Actually, this one here, it has writing on it. This is Three Stooges #2. Has someone's I don't know if that's in pencil or what that is, but you can kind of see, there's some creases here, but come on, people. This is Three Stooges #2. And I think there was 9 on the CGC census of this one. And there's another one there. This one is actually a really good one, too. Just has a little piece missing there. So yeah, these are 2 that Paul will get, and I'll be sending them off to CBCS or CGC. But just to have these, like I'm saying, 9 graded of this one, and Three Stooges, the volume 1, 1949 by Jubilee Publishing. It was only 2 issues. It was 1 in issue 2, so I got 2 of those. And on Instagram, if any of y'all have Instagram in the chat, you got multiple Mondays right here. You know how that is. But yeah,
didn't we look those up in my photo journal, and the scarcity index said there's probably less than 25 existing?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, it's very rare, but you gotta love the freaking golden age, and that's gonna bring me to my final question of the night, our final little discussion.
Rob,
what's up, man?
Before you jump into that, I want to share something with you. My cousin came up here from Baltimore today, and she brought me something from her dad, who was giving it to me, and I'm not 100% sure if I want to keep them. So I was going to put them up, and I found a picture of them, and I want to share it with you if that's okay.
Let's see these things, man.
Because I don't even know what they are.
Look, it's me. Oh yeah, bobbleheads. They're shit, baby.
They're not bobbleheads.
Not
They're-
bobbleheads?
They're about 4 inches tall. I mean, I'd say about 3 feet tall statues.
Oh wow.
Damn, I wonder I wonder what's on the bottom, or like maybe what year they were made. You don't see a lot of Shemp stuff at all.
Well, Shemp came late in the set. He had
come on, Bueller, you're not a Shemp fan?
What?
You like Shemp?
So I have these, and I was actually going to ask you about that because I know you're a Three Stooges fan.
I do love the Stooges, but I cannot get any more stuff in this room.
I'm sure there's a couple more statues can go up.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I've got so much stuff, man.
They'll probably replace like a yard gnome for you or something too.
Is that what is the picture of? I can never see the picture behind you.
What picture? Oh my goodness. I can't reach it right now, but that is Barnabas Collins. Back there. Barnabas is on the wall, baby. I stole that from freaking Collinwood, man. I had to go back down. I had to go through Quentin Collins' stairwell of time to go back to freaking 1966 to snag that thing, you know. But
I just looked online for those statues, and every one I see for sale, it only has the 3. It doesn't have the Shemp.
I have all 4. Well, what are they selling for?
The 3 of them were selling in the range of like $290 to $350.
They're going up on my Instagram tonight. I'm going to be taking my first picture.
Yeah, that's going to be one of your first items to sell on the IG.
I mean, with the Shemp, I would price it up there because that's the rare one.
Oh God!
Yeah, you love that ship, baby. I know you do. Now I want to get y'all in on this. I want to get you on this last one here real quick, and this is a serious question for folks out there in the chat and here on the panel. I want to ask you this: as far as the Holy Grails, do you think today, in today's time, social media, movies, television shows, with all the hype that surrounds these characters that they're having movies made of, is this making the Holy Grails that you want, is it making them more possible or more impossible to get? Just anybody. What do y'all think about that?
Impossible.
Impossible for anything Marvel.
Yeah.
I was going to say
DC's
impossible.
not affected.
Way up there now. The prices are just skyrocketing. I mean, you can get first Deadpool for 50 cents or $1 10 years ago. Now people are asking $400 or $500 for that book. I mean, so it's more impossible in the sense that the prices are jacked way too fucking high.
Yeah.
But still more accessible because now you can see more people who have it or whatever. So I mean, in that way, it's more accessible since there's more, I guess, marketing that can be made. Or somebody says, "Hey, I'm looking for this book," and you have some guy follow you on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or whatever hit you up. But I'd say the prices are just so inflated right now.
I'd say it's easier to find what you want, but you're going to pay 10 times what you would a couple of years ago.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we actually had the first Miss Marvel one not too long ago, and I literally was watching it go up on mycomicshop.com, like just the price going up and up and up. As soon as they teased at the end of Infinity War, you just saw it go astronomically high compared to where it was.
And Dalian, do you find that people that are, watching these Marvel movies and getting into some of these characters they see on the TV show, like the CW, DC shows, are you finding that, do you ever get like those customers come in wanting those characters, their first appearances at your shop?
Oh, I mean, fortunately, Flash and Green Arrow, those first appearances are damn near impossible to get, but you get the occasional person who tries to get like a realistic one. We had the first Plastique in our doors. We had the first Felicity Smoke, obviously a little bit different than the CW show, but those are a little bit more manageable, like $25, $30 books. But again, before the CW hit with these shows, I mean, they were $3, $4 bulk books.
I had a buddy of mine asking me for the GPA of a book that was the first Kid Flash, and it was he wanted a low grade. It was a 2.0, I think was like 150 or something in maybe 2015 or 2014. And then once Wally West appeared on the CW show, that price went to like $260 for like a 2.0, and it stayed at that height, and because of the Wally West character. And I told him, I said, and I think he did manage to get the book at a 2.0, but I also told him to get Wallace West, the African American Flash, because there's a Wally and there's a Wallace West now. So I told him to make sure you get the both Wallies,
Yeah, even things like Constantine from Swamp Thing. I mean, that's personally one of my holy grails. When I was collecting, before I opened a shop, I was a collector first, and that the whole mindset changes. You have a business, you have your hobby, and if one starts weighing out too much, then obviously you're screwed. But the first Constantine and first Deathstroke were the first two bigger books that I purchased, and I saw Constantine just skyrocket when they had the TV show, and now he's on Legends. Deathstroke is actually even bigger because when I got Deathstroke, I think I paid $45 for it, and I didn't get CGC or anything, but I probably put about 8.5-ish, give or take. But I mean, I'm seeing the same book go online for hundreds of dollars, and I'm kind of thinking about cashing in personally, but no, given Constantine, when I bought it, CGC'd at an 8.5. I think I paid $125 for it, and it's up to about $350 if not mistaken. But again, I haven't looked at prices for that in a while. So
great rise in price. Like, Chad, what do you think? You think we all said it was pretty much damn near impossible to get some of this stuff? Like, do you think it'll ever change, or do you think that the media and the movies and the TV will always kind of have a say in some of the prices we pay for these books?
Yeah, I think that's driving the market right now, and as a purist and somebody that loves the stories, I'll grab it off the shelf, read it, and if somebody wants it, I'll give them the book. And I mean, I gave
181. If you read it, you send it to me.
And there's people on this panel that can confirm this. I've given my Hulk 181 away. I gave my Hulk, not Hulk, Amazing Spider-Man 129.
The Punisher, yep.
Yeah, I gave that away. I read it for the story. There are a ton of collectors out there that want the books. They want the book more than I do. I mean, my friend Rich, he's a completionist.
Me too.
Like right now, he wants that Cable, that X-Men, whatever the story is that just came out, just because Cable dies. So he has the first issue all the way through the last.
Yeah.
Me, you know what? I like the story. You want it? I'll send it to you.
Big fan of Cable. I want to go to TJ Watson here real quick. You have so many slabs, and a lot of those have to be. Yeah, that one, that's just beautiful. Is that Turner?
Yes, yeah. Signed by Turner. Yep.
And a 9.8. And when you show the gold slab, now that is, to me, I always tell Kingdom Comics, because he loves gold slabs. He's a big collector of the 6 series, but I always say, yeah, when you got the gold slabs, especially 9.8s, that's like gold bars, man. I love it. It's so beautiful. But what do you think about that? Like how, and is it making books harder for you to get?
Yes. Every time something's announced, something that's on my watch list goes up, or they disappear, and it doubles in price.
Yeah, and
lucky to get the Daredevil comic book where the new series is going to be based on just before it went up. So it's double in price. So I got it. Yeah.
Do you see that? And it doesn't even have to be with, say, necessarily movies or TV shows. It could be creator-owned stuff like, oh gosh, Jeremy knows all of this stuff. That's my go-to guy on that. But there's a series where, say, there's a creator, maybe Mark Millar. I'm not real sure, but he's going to have some Netflix shows come out.
Yeah, Mark.
Yes.
Millar.
And so a lot of his stuff's going up most likely right now.
Yes, but a lot of his stuff is going up, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Magic Order doubles in price the next year.
Magic Order. So a lot of people, and I've seen folks have multiple copies. Get some of those. Keep your best one. Get it slabbed. Get a 9.8. Yeah, keep your best one, and then sell the other 2, and then buy, of course, some other Grails and stuff you're looking for. That's what a lot of I know. Contender and Archangel, they'll do that. They'll sell. They'll do some businesses. They'll sell some books, and then they'll buy like books. That they want to keep. So that's really cool. I was going to ask you, Woodard, what's your thoughts on all this, man? Do you find that now, since Roman Reigns is the Universal Champion, is all of the Roman Reigns awesome covers going to go up in value?
They will stay in the dollar bins.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to your original question. I mean, kind of like what Paul said. I mean, in terms of accessibility and buying this stuff, if you have the green, it's all out there right now. Like, because of, the MCU taking off, Warner Brothers DC trying to do their thing, and we're still specking on it, basically. People are putting up all kinds of things on eBay, taking all kinds of their, hidden gem books to conventions. Anything right now can be had. Obviously, you're going to pay for that, though. My perspective is on that. Eventually, I mean, I hate to say it, but it's just the cold truth. All this, the MCU, it's going to have its bubble. Eventually, it's going to just taper off. And then who knows what's going to happen after that. Maybe they'll strike gold again, but you never know. Odds are they're probably not going to be as good as they are now. After that, obviously, once things start cooling down, that would probably be the time to buy some of these books that, some of the other collectors are hoarding now, trying to buy high price now. And then eventually I would probably just buy later on a lot of this stuff. So that's kind of what my thought process is on all that.
And I know, Paul, you're just ready for that Marvel bubble to burst, right? Bubble's still going to burst.
Well, I mean, and it's like, TJ was talking about how, like Flash and whatnot, 10, 15, 20 years ago, Showcase 4 was a huge book.
Yeah.
And it's still a huge book. Back then, the Marvel books were not huge books. You could get Journey into Mystery 83 for $300-400. You could get, Iron Man #1 for $100.
Mm-hmm.
So in a lot of ways, it's Marvel's catching up.
Yeah. And it's so true. Like before, those movies like the Iron Man, the Hulk, the Thor, but yeah, like more so Iron Man, Thor, not so much Hulk and Spider-Man. Because remember, like you said earlier, Spider-Man, X-Men, Hulk, those are what you think of when you think of Marvel. Now, when I think of Marvel, it's of course Ben Grimm and the Fantastic Four, but those books were like easy to get. I mean, Silver Surfer, everyone loves Silver Surfer. Drew is a humongous, Drew's like our Marvel cosmic maniac, man. And I'm sure he wants to get him some Fantastic Four 48 and 49. And me and Paul, we both know that 50, hell, that's Johnny Goes to College. I mean, you got to get that. But I got the a 9.4 Fantastic Four 48, low price. I want to say $2,200 possibly, and it's a 9.4. I don't look at the prices very much. I looked at Wiz 2 just to see, because Shazam movie is coming out, so of course a lot of the Shazam Golden Age stuff is starting to go up. But yeah, so it's crazy the times we're in, and how speculation and shows and TV and the media, the social media, can like say one thing and everyone rushes to go buy it. And it kind of reminds me of what Wizard Magazine did in the 90s, they would talk about the hot books, and then those hot books would sell out, but then they wouldn't be worth anything. But Bueller, what's your take on how the movies and everything kind of drive up the prices some?
Well, I think we live in that time right now that we've all been waiting for. And I say that back in the 90s when we were buying all these books and they're going to be worth money and all that stuff. Not necessarily those books that we bought, but now those other books in that time frame, the ones that we probably didn't buy enough copies of, are seeing that jump in price. And it's kind of nice to see that. And we talk about the bubble possibly bursting. I don't see the bubble bursting anytime soon, for the simple fact that Marvel and DC, for that matter, have done a good job of taking these characters and making them household names. Mm-hmm. In the 90s, Iron Man wasn't a household name, and and stuff like that, But now they all are. All the kids know them. We all know them. So the bubble will last a lot longer this time around, and that also reflects new comics that come out, because the new comics that come out now, that come out one week and then they're hot the next week type thing, the print runs now are a fraction of what they used to be in the 90s. Mm-hmm. So that's what makes those books a lot more hot, a lot more quick, and we're very much better educated than we were back then. The information is available on your phone to find out whatever you need to know. And it's just, it does drive up the price of all the books and stuff, which is, it's what's going to happen. But there's no more copies of 181 out there than there was 10 years ago. It's the same amount of copies that were out 10 years ago or 20 years ago. So, the people that bought those books 10 or 20 years ago, those guys are making bank right now, and that's awesome. So,
there's a big influx in the foreign market right now too. China and Saudi Arabia are buying older comics like crazy.
Mm-hmm. Do you think, TJ, that's from them getting the movies over there? Some of the superhero stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. See, that it's a big market for all that stuff. I was going to say, Area 51 had a great line.
Come on.
Yeah, I got to say it, Bueller. Holy cow. Bueller looks like he just got back from a court appearance. Hell yeah, he did.
He goes right to a court appearance and not a date with a lady. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Stay Puff says Bueller's speaking truth. We got Jeffrey Comic-Con Henson in the house and Area 51, man. You always are so good to see you in there, man. I want to do say one last thing about this. Bueller, as long as Pee Wee Herman up there on the Stranger Things, as long as he doesn't burst your bubble, you're going to be okay.
He bursts his own bubble, not my bubble.
All right. Well, we've had this has been a damn good show. I want to go down the line and get some final thoughts and shout outs, starting with Chad, man. Chad and Dalian. Y'all got any final thoughts and shout outs?
You want to give a shout out? You're up first, brother.
Yeah, usually it's Steve here in this spot. Great business partner, and wish him safe travels. He's going to his buddy's wedding, so he'll probably be back at Jimmy next week. So shout out to him. Thank you for having me on, guys. I really appreciate it.
So I got a ton of shout outs, and I'm going to do the Oprah.
Trinity Winfrey.
Sub everybody in the chat. Thank you, guys. You're the reason we're here. We're doing this. It's about community.
And you get a shout out, and you get a shout out.
Yeah, exactly.
See, he watches the show, Trinity. He's watching.
So, big shout out for tomorrow night, Legend Auction live at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
That's right.
Sub it up, watch it. I think there might be a review from the Batcave might show up.
Bruce Wayne is going to be sitting in that chair in the cave, huh?
And big shout out to everybody. Bueller, good luck next week.
Thanks, man.
You're going to have a blast. If you guys get a chance, check out Paul's pressing. Check out C. Wood's videos. Check out everybody. Next week, we will be back live at 10 o'clock. But a big shout out coming in October from Legend himself is what is it? Rob, is it the first ever, or is it going to be the first organized WWE?
Oh, that whole thing is going to be awesome. We will be doing WWE 2K19. So if you are in the comic book community, you watch the Comic Core, you watch Bueller, Midwest, TJ, man, you watch us, Woodard. We're going to be playing some of this WWE 2K19 for Xbox One, and it is going to be off the chain. We're going to be doing some offline, not streaming. We're going to, work our little shows in there. But once a month, we will stream a big pay-per-view show of all of us just gaming and beating the crap out of each other and having a good time, trading the belt. It's going to be awesome, man. So, Chad, I'm excited, man. Chad, who are you going to use, man?
I'm thinking either Dean Ambrose or if he's on that Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Steve will be in there. Woodard, man, how about some last minute shout outs, man?
Man, just a big thanks to the community this week. Like, not only did I gain up to 244 subscribers, which thank you guys. I'm 6 subs away from hitting that subscriber milestone where I had a prize in my contest, which goes till September 23rd. So there's my plug. I'm also, for not even trying at it, which I should get better at this, I'm at 92 Instagram followers already. So thank you guys so much for that. Mm-hmm. Can't believe already 92 followers on Instagram. So that's super cool, guys. And also, once again, big shout out to Miss Hustle. She's plugging us on Instagram she played my live stream on Instagram like 2 weeks ago and like doubled my view count. So legit big thanks, Miss Hustle. I really do appreciate that. And she also put out her own live stream video this week, so check that out. That thumbnail made my week. I'm telling you, it was great.
That was great.
But yeah, once again, just love being a part of, and a lot of, I also do want to shout out a couple new subscribers too. There's been this guy in the chat. His name's Jeffrey Comic Con Henson.
Jeffrey's awesome.
He's just joined the community recently. He's made a lot of cool videos already. And another one is Simon Comics. I just found out about his video through my contest, or his channel, I should say. He has a lot of really cool silver and golden age stuff. I guess he got it from his grandpa. But he has a lot of cool stuff in his collection, so I'd recommend checking his stuff out. And then the last one I want to shout out is John's Comics with Kids. Yes. I feel like he has a lot of collecting styles like I do. He has a phenomenal personality when it comes to comic collecting, so I recommend checking his channel out. So just a few new channels I've kind of noticed over the last few weeks and wanted to shout out. So check those guys out, please.
Hey, one thing to tag on Seawood, if you are in the chat, if you're watching the show, if you're in the community, hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Be on the show. This is for you guys. We, as you can see, we don't put up any other videos. It's just the Comic Core. It's just the comic community.
And we don't post links.
Amen to that. No, that's right.
I learned the hard way.
Yeah. Midwest, the best from the Midwest, man. Any last minute shout outs?
As always, shout out to everybody in the chat. Thanks for showing up. You guys make this fun. You're the reason why we do it. Special shout out to my brother Chad for being able to run faster than a bear. And we've got a new arrival.
Let's give it to him. Who dat?
Who dat comics and movies? My brother, any final thoughts or shout outs? Who dat?
Just come to the Legends Live auction tomorrow and have some fun.
That's right. He's going to have some big boy books, man. Big boy books.
When Russell says have some fun, he means send me money.
Who dat? I got to tell you this. I just got my plane ticket to New Orleans.
Oh.
You're ready to see that loss, huh?
I'm ready to take a W, son.
Well, we don't have a Whataburger around here.
Hey, there's one thing you got. We'll get that Jason Smith, baby. Oh man, that was cricket. Sorry, guys. All right, TJ, man. Any last minute? Hold on, Nova. Richard freaking Ryder 9.8. Now that's awesome.
Thanks, and thank you for all tonight. Thanks for inviting me. I was feeling very down today. This kind of cheered me up a bit. So,
well, golly, TJ, we're glad to have you on. If Comic-Colics watch this, Wayne and Jess, there's that 9.8 Richard Rider y'all been looking for, but I don't know, TJ, you going to be selling that one or keeping it?
I don't sell. Sorry.
Amen to that. Keep that bad boy. That is beautiful, man. Bueller, what is going down with you? Final thoughts.
Well, I want to say thanks, everyone. The channel, my channel is just doing great. It's humbling. We're sitting at 1,430 subscribers. And last month we were at 750 subscribers. So everything
just drop the mic and walk away, man. Just
drop the mic.
So everything is going great. I got videos hitting thousands of views coming within a day, so I can't complain one bit. So it's great being part of this community. It's great sharing it with everybody, man, and I'm looking forward to next week. And I always love to be here with you guys on Friday and to be a part of the core. So thank you, everyone, and thank you to TJ for being our guest. Like I said, I hadn't got a chance to talk to him before, so this was nice to be able to talk to him and kind of interact a little bit with you, my friend. So thank you so much.
Man, that's awesome. And he just joined us. You know how I always say, New York Warriors, Big East Comics, the heart and soul of the New York Warriors. Well, this guy here, Trinity Entertainment, is the heart and the soul of the Comic Core. Trinity, what you got for us, man?
Not a lot, my brother. What's going on, everybody?
Man, good to see our guy Trinity Entertainment in the freaking house tonight. He was living up the chat in there, keeping Jason Smith in check. If he didn't stay in check, Trinity was going to break his. Well, Trinity, man, it's good to see you, man. It's great to see you.
I know he joined us because none of us can say it. Just say it, Trinity.
Say it, Trinity.
All right, everybody in the chat, you get a sub like Alex the Comic Recorder, or as I call him, Albert the Comic Recorder calls me. Trinity Winfrey, everybody gets a sub. Jeffrey Comic Con Ensign, under your couch cushion next to the stale Doritos and the loose change, there's a sub for you.
Hell yeah. Trinity, you know what? I was just laughing at Bueller's laughing too. This is great. Miss Hustle says, this is funny. Legend and Bueller are my favorite. Now, hey, I love you, Miss Hustle. I love you too. Bueller loves you too. But Jason Smith says, bullshit, LOL. Yeah, Miss Hustle, Jason wants you to say his name next time. But, you know, Miss Hustle says Thanatos is the cutest. You know, he is a handsome young man, but he's already taken Miss Hustle.
Dude, I got to shave this beard. I'm done.
I like that handsome beard, though. I think it looks good.
I was growing it for Miss Hustle. I'm done.
Damn, it looks way better.
Seems like Jason needs to go back to his corner.
Hey, Miss Hustle. I got to tell you this, Miss Hustle. I even brought a guy from Canada on the show today. Where are you from?
Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
Toronto, man.
I brought him because I was like, hey, Miss Hustle's going to be on the show. I need another Canadian. And he was like,
I'm all about it.
I'm all about it. And then you let me down, and I'm devastated. I think I'm just gonna go home and I can't drink any more whiskey.
No, that attitude.
You'll have to get some more on the way home. Hey, I want to give a little shout out tomorrow night to the Great Legends Show. We're going to have the Legends live auction for September 1st, starting at 10 Eastern, 9 Central. Make sure y'all stop on by. Who Dat Comics and Movies is going to have some big boy books there. We're going to have C. Woodard go 3 rounds. We're going to have Rich from formerly known of Reviews from the Batcave, now known as Retro Rich, where you can catch his Saturday morning cartoon block on Facebook.com. Very highly successful. If you miss seeing those cartoons that you watched in the 1980s on Saturday, you want to make sure you follow, like his page so you know when he's going to have new episodes of that. And where's Chad at? Is Chad, can you come back here? Chad, get back here. Come on back. Chad, take us out with that classic outro, brother.
So, in the immortal words of Rich, keep reading, keep watching, and sub us up and hit the ding button. But guys, peace. We love you.
Peace out. God bless.